Ball. Good. Good. Buzz. Fast buzz. Just take it into it. That's it. Smooth. Sit down. Sit down. There it is. First side, stop. So. Good job. That's it.
Good
Hi, this is Aaron Wilson. Jayden Higgins, two-star recruit out of Westminster Christian High School in Florida, and at one point a basketball player, and after he transfers from Gulliver Prep, decides to concentrate on football, and what a good decision that's been. So his journey, his path from two-star recruit, one of the lowest ranked players in the nation as far as wide receivers, and lowest ranked out of the state of Florida, someone that was ignored by recruiters from the University of Miami, University of Florida, Florida State, Seminoles, South Florida, and many others in his home state, goes from that level to Eastern Kentucky, used as a springboard, and gets to Iowa State where he excelled, becomes a third-team All-American, and now the Texans' second-round draft pick, top pick for them because they traded out of the first round, 34th overall, and gets a contract that's unprecedented in NFL history. Becomes the first player in NFL history to get a fully guaranteed contract in the second round. So at $11.7 million deal negotiated by Chris Cabot of Equity Sports. And, of course, that set the stage for the pick above him, Schlesinger, for the Browns, the linebacker from UCLA, getting a fully guaranteed deal as well. So to tell the story a little bit, you see the video at the beginning of this video, and that's the progression of Jayden Higgins, a young Jayden Higgins you see in the beginning of the video, doing that ladder drill, working on his footwork, and he did all this with Ed Gant. That's his mentor and private coach for him since he was 11 years old. So Ed is a former NFL wide receiver, played for the Arizona Cardinals, played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and with the Cardinals, he was a teammate of Kurt Warner. And so in discussing with Ed the growth that Jayden put together, all of the hard work and the grind, as he put it, that he put in, it's incredible. So you look at how this happened, everyone talks about Cam Ward from 0-star running the wing T offense in Columbia High School in the Houston area to transferring from Incarnate Word to Washington State and then to the University of Miami and becoming the top overall pick of the draft. Well, that's remarkable, but this is also a very remarkable, interesting story to me and to others if you look at how he progressed, all of the work that went into this. And so you saw in the beginning of the video, you see a younger, smaller Jayden Higgins working on his footwork, just trying to build the skills and the fundamentals to become the wide receiver that he is now. At 6'4", 214 pounds, 4.47 in the 40-yard dash, 39-inch vertical leap, and a guy that can run the entire route tree, a true X wide receiver that can get open, that is strong in terms of broad-shouldered, well-built, someone that can lower his pads and block or run through tacklers. So you see how everything clicked for him but it started to click for him a lot sooner than when he was at Iowa State. You look at the journey, and Matt Campbell and Coach Pauly and Coach Shielhaus, all those guys that work with him at Iowa State and recruited him out of Eastern Kentucky, out of the transfer portal, they saw things that others didn't see. They saw how he could move unusually well for a 6'4" wide receiver. So he was overlooked, yes, and he's always used that as motivational fuel. I wouldn't say that he's obsessed with proving people wrong, but certainly doesn't mind proving people right. Those that believed in him, saw the mental toughness, saw the kind of athlete he was, and it was a combination of things that got him to this point. So you look at him in the receiving room now with Nico Collins, someone that he likes, but he really more tries to, I would say, emulate the game of Larry Fitzgerald. He's said that many times. So this is someone, Ed Gant, that, of course, was around a Larry Fitzgerald and around a Kurt Warner and saw all of the process, all of the progress that was made by Jayden Higgins, and they're close to this day. They still train together, and that was the guy you saw in a lot of videos online with them working together, doing some drills right before the rookie minicamp where, of course, Jayden was as impressive as ever. So I look at everything and, I think, well, let's get to know more about Jayden Higgins. Let's get to know him a little bit. So what better person to talk to than someone that's known him for a long time? And these are his words. Called him an easygoing kid, very quiet until he warms up to you, very family-oriented. Just give him cleats, give him a football, and he's going to bust his ass to do everything he can in his power to make plays, and he's going to do it the right way. He's happy if he's on a lake with a fishing pole, hanging out with his buddy Jalen Knoll, another Texans wide receiver who I expect good things from. So he likes to hang with his friends. His family keeps a tight inner circle, not very flashy, doesn't care for a lot of big purchases. He called him authentic, organic. Comes from his upbringing. His parents, both parents, raised him right, and just a very family-oriented person. Likes to go to work and go fishing, hang out with his girlfriend. He called him a simple guy, does not go out, just someone that is very focused on football. All good things to hear, all what you would hope for when you're making the kind of investment the Texans have in Jayden Higgins. $11.7 million, fully guaranteed. So, in talking to Jayden about his game, he feels like his versatility, his size, just a big receiver on the outside, but they can run any route in the route tree, make plays from anywhere on the field, and uses that as a strength. So with the Texans and the background they've had with him, he did have a combine interview, the NFL scouting formal interview, met with them at the Senior Bowl, felt great about those meetings. It all culminates in the Texans drafting him. And, so he had Zooms with the Texans. And so they were, showing interest throughout this process in Jayden Higgins, and they wound up picking him. And as Nick Cassero said, this was the highest rated player they had that was still on the board at 34th overall. So they feel great about getting Jayden Higgins, and I think it's exciting to see when you have two weapons, a Nico Collins and a Jayden Higgins, two big explosive wide receivers, and similar in speed, but Nico a little bit faster, 4.44 to the 4.47 for a Jayden Higgins. So now, for C.J. Stroud, this is exciting, and hopefully they'll elevate his game when he has better targets, bigger targets to throw to. And so the whole two-star thing, it's interesting because he does look in the mirror. He likes to, motivate himself. And, he says he's just trying to be the best version of himself. So that's a good attitude to have rather than being one of those guys who dwells on recruiting rankings and things like that. But it is interesting because it's inexact science, right? When it comes to the draft, when it comes to the recruiting process. Recruiting process is kind of your pedigree, but it's not where you wind up. It's the beginning. It's the first steps in that path, and then you go on. But, you think about contested catches, catch radius, his ability to go up and get the ball in the air. This is someone that really prides himself on competing for the football and has that basketball background, and he knows how to set people up, how to use leverage to win, and being mobile, elusive, shifty, and still a lot of room to grow. I would say this is a young athlete that hasn't reached his potential just yet. There's still more ahead of him, has a great background from Iowa State, and what a good transfer for the Cyclones to get someone that can outbody defensive backs, that can out-jump people, has great hands and speed. And you look at all the receivers they've had, including the Hakeem Butlers, the Allen Lazards, the Xavier Hutchinson, who now plays for the Texans. They've had a lot of success at Iowa State. So, I know that Nick Caserio puts a lot of stock into programs, and he comes from a good program. So all of that sort of lends itself to talking about success, talking about what someone can do. So many really outstanding coaches speak very highly of Jayden Higgins. And so I've had a chance to make calls and talk to his receivers coach and passing game coordinator, Noah Pauley. And you look at what he had to say about him, just outstanding, high marks for him. And it's very genuine because you look at the production last year, worth repeating, 87 catches, 1,185 yards, 9 touchdowns, second team All Big 12, played in the Senior Bowl, has backed it up at every turn, and has been a strong performer. 6'4" and change, by the way, 6'4" and 1/8, an 80-inch wingspan, 33 and 1/8 arm length, 9 and 1/8 hand size, big hands, and then good in the 3-cone drill with a 7.05, a 4.28 short shuttle, a 10.8 broad jump, strong enough to bench press 225 pounds 16 times. So we got a 9.63 relative athletic score. And just at every turn, whether it was Eastern Kentucky, people have been happy for him. I think that speaks well to his attitude, the kind of person he is. And everybody's excited about Higgins and someone that has a high upside. Maybe as high as his height, 6'4". This is a long-limbed but not skinny wide receiver. He's someone that can still polish his routes. That's something that people have said. He can get even better, but he's going to win against press coverage. I mean, imagine trying to press this guy as a smaller corner. I don't think that's going to work. Probably better off playing off. But, he played basketball for a long time, since 3rd grade, and then at Gulliver Prep's upper school, he decides to transfer from there, not play football for Gulliver Prep, but play it for Westminster Christian, and plays it very well as he gives football another chance and really blossomed into a top-flight receiver. And some of that's his path. That's his unique journey to the NFL and what everyone's seen from him. But, as a player that I think was just starting to tap into his potential as a high school senior with 23 catches, 430 yards, and 5 touchdowns in just 5 games, that was just the sneak preview of what he would do at Eastern Kentucky and then at Iowa State. And the Texans hope in the NFL, in the AFC South Division, that big things are coming from him. So you look at everything he did in big games like the Liberty Bowl, 214 receiving yards. That was a school record. And just someone that I would say is on the rise and will get good coaching here from Ben McDaniels and Nick Caley. And I know they'll have plays for him and a plan as they try to get him implemented into this offense. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everybody that likes, watches, and subscribes to the channel. Please join us if you haven't already subscribed and you're coming across the video for the first time. We now have 7,250 subscribers and growing, and I think it will only continue to grow with the support I'm enjoying from you all. And please drop your comments. What do you think? How is Jayden Higgins going to go as a rookie? What role do you see for him? Look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. That's what it's all about with YouTube. This is an interactive experience. I'm talking, but you guys are listening and you guys are commenting. So let's hear from you all. And, of course, I'm at www.click2houston.com. I'll be on Sports Sunday tonight with Randy McElvoy. We'll have extensive coverage of the organized team activities at click2houston.com and at KPRC2, and then also here at YouTube. And I'm proud to be a YouTube creator, and I appreciate you guys joining me, and I look forward to our next conversation. Thanks. Bye.